And now let's join tonight's panel over at the desk. We're talking baseball and other stuff with former Major League scout Jeremy Booth and Kim Davis from Chalk Talk, as well as Zach Tawatari from KHOU 11, of course. All right, people, are we ready for the eclipse on Monday? Are we ready? Zach's ready. So in line with the eclipse, everyone, which lens should we be looking at these Astros with? Nearsighted or farsighted, given all the injuries to the starting rotation, and of course the Astros thinking we'll be much better, we'll be healthy in June or July?
You know, this team is too good to judge it on 9 games. You know, it's going to have to take a longer view. It didn't start out how anybody wanted to see it happen. It's not something that we wanted to see rolling, but it's not over in nine days. It's not over in 2 weeks. It's going to be the whole season, and they're still a very talented club.
I agree. I mean, I think it's way too early to jump off into the lake or whatever people are doing. I think there are some things that go, okay, we see some challenges we need to work on, but it's still April. I mean, we're into week 2.
Yeah.
And so they need to give it some time, give Joe some time to get, to gel with how he does things with this club and all the changes they've made with the coaching staff and key positions like catcher. It's going to take a minute.
Is nearsighted the one where you can't see far?
I never
and
know.
Farsighted? I don't know the difference, but
I believe so.
Well, for me, the outlook is yes. You can't jump off of this Astros train right now.
No.
It's way too early. However, I will say what is concerning to me, the lack of energy that this team seems to be coming out with day after day. We talked about it earlier. They look flat right now, and that is concerning to me.
I think perhaps maybe we need to look through both sets of lenses, because some of the issues that we saw last year, Jose Abreu's play jumps right to the forefront. Obviously injuries, because they were dealing with that last year as well. Do you think that energy is an issue or motivation? We've been seeing that on X, and these guys need to be motivated. I don't see that as a problem right now, but I think that what we're seeing right now, it's some issues that we've seen in the past.
I don't think they need to be motivated. I think that they're uncomfortable, and I think they rightfully so are uncomfortable. You have guys pitching out of role and hitting out of position. We'll talk about Alvarez in the 2 spot just for a second. And Altuve is a first ball hitter. He swings constantly. And if you're a guy like Alvarez who has to work counts and you don't get to see pitching and you just have to go ahead and go right into it, that's discomfort. And when it comes to Bregman and down the line, and we've talked about this a lot, right? We've talked about this a lot on Twitter. We've talked about this a lot offline.
On the Extra Bases podcast.
I think that there's a lot to be said for the point of not playing with energy. But I think it's comfort. If you're not comfortable, you're not going to be focused. They're a winning culture. They're professional winners, actually, when you come down to it. So I don't know that that's the case, but I do think discomfort has something to do with it.
When we talk about these issues, though,
Right.
which one is more glaring? The eclipse. More glaring. Which is a more glaring problem right now? Is it middle relief or the batting order, which Jeremy has been really focusing on since game 1? Which would you say?
I think it's both, quite frankly. I mean, there's a problem with middle relief, clearly. There's no question about it. Should they have gotten Arrighetti and maybe not kept John Singleton? I don't know what you do with the roster, but I think middle relief is a problem. But that lineup, right? I guess it's going to take some far-sighted, nearsighted, whichever one is the right one, to get used to it, because it just seems weird seeing Alvarez in the 2 spot. And I don't know what you say about Abreu. We said last year was his back. He got better, and then he produced runs. But now we thought he was healthy, and
Pilates. We thought Pilates was going to be the answer.
I think Pilates is great. Obviously, it's not totally the key. So they've got some challenges in both places.
Yeah, for me, I think it is both. I, right now, am more concerned with, because I'm more surprised with the lack of production in the lineup. However, by what we've talked about, Jeremy, I'm not so surprised that they feel uncomfortable being put in these different positions, because hitting is so much about comfort. However, for me, this is the foundation of this team, having an amazing lineup. We didn't think they were necessarily going to pitch amazing before the year started, but this lineup is what this team is built on, and if they don't produce,
we knew middle relief was going to be an issue when you lose Neris and Maton and Stanek. So yes, I think that really is what's really worrisome is the production or lack thereof from this lineup. And you think it has a lot to do with the batting order.
With the pitching, There's some injuries that are not back yet. That solves that problem. There's guys that go back into the rotation and push other guys in the middle relief, and that's no issue, right? With the hitting, in 2022, Astros won the World Series. Jeremy Pena hit second, Bregman hit third, Alvarez, it doesn't matter. Those, you flip them. Tucker hit fifth. Yes, there was no Brady. There was Yuli Gurriel, but where did he hit in the lineup? Was it 6?
Yeah, it was
about right.
Around there.
Down.
Yeah. Why fix what isn't broken? If you have a guy like Jeremy Payne, you got to protect.
But Jeremy, they're all going to say you want your best hitter, Yordan Alvarez, or one of them, to get more at bats. I mean, Shohei Ohtani and Aaron Judge do it.
Did I miss the parades in L.A. with the Angels? And did I miss some with the Yankees? I don't know. Maybe it was me, because I kind of thought here in Houston we had one in 2022.
So do that again.
Do it again.
Right?
Was it run it back? Relentless? I don't know. But no, we
back.
want to turn around, and we want to put guys who are innate run producers, some of the best hitters in the game, in a spot to set the table. If it's not working other places to win, then you don't do it here. If it's working other places to win, okay, I get it. But if you look at some of these other clubs, we'll go with Philadelphia for a second. The lineup is longer than here. I don't trust some of the guys they have in this lineup. Diaz, believe it or not, is still unproven, although I really like what he can do.
Right.
And when it comes to Jeremy Pena, we have a little bit of a rebirth that we can protect him. If you want Brady to be productive, you got to protect him. Tucker's going to hit, but you still got to protect him. And when it comes to Altuve, he's probably the only guy that doesn't need any protection, right? He's at the top of the order and be him. I think that while some of these pieces are interchangeable, you'll see the comfort level, the energy, the excitement come back once they're able to play productive baseball and win games. No one likes losing. And for all the stuff we see on, is it X? We're we calling it X?
I still call it Twitter.
X, formerly known as Twitter.
For all the stuff we see on X, do you guys want to hit somebody second and have a bunch of L's, or do you want somebody second and have another parade? To me, that's just the way I look at it. And I'd like to go ahead and see a championship.
You know, right? You talk about protecting people. It's where they are in the lineup. And think about where they were most successful. You mentioned Pena. He's a great example. And you're like, why was he so successful? He fell off. No, let's look at what they did, how they protected him. I'm with you. It's not motivation. It is comfort. And that maybe produces a lack of energy. But go back to the lineups that work. Do that.
And the game that Yordan hit very well, and he had excellent career numbers against Bassett. So I don't know that you can say, oh, it just worked because he's getting comfortable in the 2 spot. You're a lot more comfortable facing somebody that you have good numbers against.
And that particular situation, he owns it, right? We all have hitters and pitchers that we play well against, and Chris Bassett, is probably sending him fruit baskets and flowers. I mean, I don't know. I mean, it's one of those things where Alvarez is eating his lunch. So,
what kind of record would the front office like to see by the end of April? I'm thinking if they can be obviously above 500, maybe 2 or 3 games back. I think that is where Dana Brown and the crew would like to see this Astros team, despite all of its struggles. If they could be within striking distance, I think they would be happy given the injuries.
2-7 is a hole. It's tough to dig yourself out of that in April, right? Especially when you're trying to feel your way through things. You have pitching that's not all the way back. I mean, there's still some things that are going to, hinder this team the next couple of weeks. For me, it's 500. If you're 500 and you turn the page, there's 5 more months where you have a chance to really do some damage and gain ground and be the team that you are. So to me, 500 record and they're feeling pretty good.
I thought 500. I mean, 2 over 500 I think would be like candy or gravy or whatever it is you want to have. But I thought 500 because it is a hole, and they are kind of in a feast or famine place right now. So if they could get to 500, get some things kind of worked out, get some stability, maybe become a little more comfortable, get some energy, and then go into the next month.
Yeah, anywhere near 500, honestly, they'd be fine. Every team goes through a lull in the season at some point this year. If they can do it at the beginning of the year and they can progressively build and get hotter and hotter, or just, even stay relatively successful overall, I think they're going to be fine. It's just you don't want to have this happen in late August, Yeah.
He is Jeremy Booth, our KHO U11 baseball analyst. Jeremy, we're going to send you that way. We appreciate your time here on Sports Extra.
Thanks for having me, guys.
All right, so moving on now, let's talk women's Final Four. South Carolina is your champion, beating Iowa and Caitlin Clark to finish undefeated. The final was 87-75. So, did the Final Four live up to the hype on a scale of 1 to 10, 10 being lit?
11. I mean, listen, it was amazing. There were great games. Yeah. It was great basketball. It's great basketball. It's been much more exciting, and I've watched a lot of the men's games than the men. I know that some people are just discovering women's basketball. I've watched it a long time, but this Final Four has surpassed what the hype has been, in my opinion.
Yeah, I was at a 10. I mean, I sat there and wanted to watch the semifinal game between UConn and Iowa, and I was into it. Now it's about certainly keeping this momentum going, but I was at a 9 or 10.
Certified 20 for me out of 10. And I'll tell you why. I just love the elevation of the women's game and where it is right now. The fact that we're seeing these stars, Caitlin Clark, Paige Beckers, the fact that we get to see them go head-to-head, Juju Watkins, I mean, these are household names. At what point have we seen that with women's basketball of the 3 or 4 or 5 teams left in the tournament? You know, it's just so awesome to see the way that it is impacting even future generations. And you see little girls and little boys who want to be like Caitlin Clark. They want to be a dominant force. She's seen as more than a women's basketball player. Well, she's seen as a basketball player.
And I think it's important, too, to mention some of the others. I mean, I think the storylines are important, like the Angel Reese storyline and some of those things. What Dawn Staley has done with that team is exciting, right? And the freshmen that stepped up in the championship today, it's like they're going to be good for a minute because of who they have, Raven Johnson, and then the big one, big girl, because she's 6'7", Carmilla. I mean, she's going to be, with Caitlin, they're going to be seeing each other in the WNBA. So it's exciting for people to start saying, hey, and people always ask me, why doesn't Houston have a WNBA team since they won the first 4 championships? I used to be a part of their broadcast. I don't know. I can't buy it to you. But it seems like there should be one here. I'm just saying.
Yeah.
Certainly the men's Final Four did not have the star power of the women's, but arguably the biggest star in the men's game, Zach Edey, is in the final. So which one are you going with, UConn or Purdue to win it all on Monday night?
It's UConn for me.
It's UConn for me. I like Zach, but it's UConn. Definitely running back. What have they not lost but by any less than 13? The whole tournament or something? I don't know.
I mean, that's something like that.
Something like that. They're good.
Yeah. All right, so that is Kim Davis from Chalk Talk. Kim, as always, we appreciate you coming on.
Thank you for having
and being
me.
with us on Sports Extra.
Love it here.